Ever since the day the portal network collapsed, stranding us in these realms, we have searched for a way home.
Lost and alone in the dangerous labyrinth of fantastical worlds. Welcome to the lands of Faye.
Every portal is a chance for salvation. Uniting the lost survivors. Or leading us deeper into this nightmare. Nightingale, our beacon of hope. But beyond our reach. As long as we stand together, our journey will unite us.
You, the Realm Walkers, are all that is left.
So giant portals that take you to multiple different worlds filled with all sorts of different biomes, full base building, settlement building, huge massive windmills and farms to keep your settlement going as you get prepared to craft new weapons, armor pieces, outfits and take on magical and mythological creatures from 18th century and maybe beyond. All set in a gas lamp, not steampunk style setting. I think Nightingale could be one of the most interesting survival games that I've seen in a good long time. Possibly the survival game that I had hoped New World would be that didn't end up actually happening. It's really got some vibes of like Dark Souls mixed in with that New World, ancient world aesthetic. Obviously you're not going to be using machine guns in this one, but it does look fantastic still. I'm not too sure about the pretty much flimsy dresses that you might be wearing while you're hunting down these creatures, but the fact they've got different sizes, huge massive giants, reminds me a lot of Monster Hunter World as well. Lazy game comparisons exist because it's trying to get you the idea what this game could be in a very short space of time. Chuck on the arcane elements to it as well, so there will be potential for magic and otherworldly creatures, tools and weapons, and I think this has really got potential by the looks of things. Actually showing off proper in-game action as well. I'll bet pre-alpha release, I think is a great move, and a depth of creatures that you're seeing, a depth of ways that you'll build encampments or going ahead and building your huge massive settlements, all trying to find this mythological city called Nightingale. The biomes look stunning, varied, really outworldly, and looks like crafting is obviously going to be a massive focus in upgrading your weapons and getting new items. Not seen a combination like this. I think lots of players on my channel will really appreciate this because you're survival fans. Other players that really like MMOs, one of the big problems I have with them is they get so boring just doing the same quests over and over again, running across the same areas. In survival, you've got that creation with the building aspects, and that breaks up a lot of the gameplay. That's why survival is as popular as MMO nowadays in a lot of ways, because you have got that creative aspects, and that's what Nightingale hopefully is going to carry on knuckling down on. As well as taking on giant creatures, scary ones, and yeah, looking good. Doesn't look like it's going to be PvP at all. It looks like it is more co-op. Everything in the market material so far stresses that it is about co-oping together and building settlements together. So that's my hype for it. And now let's take a look at what we know from some interviews and what the devs have been said and their website. The studio is made out of veterans who have worked on games like Mass Effect, Dragon Age and Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, as well as Bioshock. Aaron Flynn said in a statement that they want to build a rich, intricate fantasy setting full of history and life as anything we've worked on in the past. You will be a realm walker, survivors of a magical cataclysm, players who explore a variety of dangerous realms accessible by portals as they search for the last bastion of humanity, the titular city of Nightingale. Realm walkers will be able to team up and cooperate with other players to gather materials, construct massive settlements and build tools and weapons to battle monsters. They'll also contend with the Faye, described as humanity's magical rivals. According to Kotaku, the alpha is going to begin at some point, maybe possibly early or middle of 2022, and they're going to be looking at an early access release in the same year. So the studio Improbable actually was founded back in 2019. This will be the first time we've actually seen any of their work, and they're based in Canada, in Edmonton. It does look like there's going to be a PC release only to begin with. They haven't mentioned any plans for console as of yet, which is pretty stock standard for an early access game. Taking a look at the website, you can see some of the amazing art. It really does look like it could be a great mix. Having the portal says to me that they're thinking about performance. These portals will open up to worlds that might not be so massive and complicated that they cause all sorts of desync and lag. Being able to control where you spawn, containing it in certain areas really helps with performance in these types of games. That's why so many of these games struggle, because they're fitting massive maps with all sorts of things going on. But it does look like these places are pretty substantial and big. And not just simply a small tiny arena or maybe middle-sized one like you might find in Monster Hunter. Definitely seems a lot bigger, and where you will be actually settling down. No hub city like Destiny and then just running out to do missions. It does look like you can choose any one of these biomes to actually go and live, or one of these portal lands. It looks like you're going to have to build these estates, so actually freeform building and possibly maybe some actual blueprint building as well. But it does look incredible. No words in yet on exactly how many players the game will support, but clearly it's up to at least maybe 10, judging by the trailer. Super excited also by the fact that it could have things like blimps in it. Maybe this is just a bit of scenery that goes around this particular world. But yeah, imagine being able to have a blimp as your base. And some of these constructs look absolutely huge. Just look at the size of these windmills compared to some of the houses below them. So Nightingale is the only project they're currently working on at the moment. There's nothing else said. They're still obviously looking for a lot of people to come and join them and help them make their game. Aaron Flynn is the man. He's worked on a whole bunch of games all the way up until Andromeda. That's when he left the company after nearly 15 years. He previously worked on a bunch of the previous Mass Effect games as well as Dragon Age. So this is his big return, probably after actually quitting BioWare. The engine is going to be Unreal, so that's what they've confirmed on Twitter. Judging by Aaron's tweet history, he does have a penchant for liking and taking a look at massive MMOs and what the technology is empowering. Things like Scavengers being able to hold a 5,000 player public event. So yeah, I really don't think this is going to be necessarily just a co-op game. I think it will be much bigger than that. Maybe not in the realms of New World, but clearly to have these kind of settlements is going to take a lot of work. And I guess we'll just finish off with a quick analysis of the trailer as it flies by. Like I said, the variety in creatures is amazing. The biomes look fantastic. Clearly hunting is going to be a big part of the game, as it is in all survival games. Gathering resources, getting the right materials, and making sure that you're camping for the night, or you're starting to build up your own actual settlements. What I found really interesting was the clip in the desert though, where they're actually base defense against creatures. So it does look like it's going to be some sort of horde style gameplay mechanics in it as well. And yeah, I think that is really something pretty unique and special. And if the building cannot result in a huge ton of lag, it'd be great. Imagine getting a giant to help you gather resources rather than necessarily just come along and destroy everything you've been building. But this is the clip I was talking about. You can see clearly they're defending their town, they're getting it ready, usually over something like a point of interest that's maybe already there to give a focal point. Maybe they've got to defend that, and that's why you have to build these things. And who knows, maybe this city that you get to could potentially be the hub area where you'll be able to trade, buy new items, or explore even deeper the lore. And then to cap it all off, yeah, just fighting giant monsters, maybe having to co-op and do dungeon style raids to take on huge creatures. It's got pretty much all the mechanics that I think are really exciting. I hope you guys are too. I'm going to cover every single bit of news we hear about this game from now until we get news about its release. So until next time, Ratbags, laters.